Welcome everybody to Astrology of the Magi. Today we are talking about Mercury Connections. So let me share my screen. Let's see. If I share the screen, move things around. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Awesome. And I'm gonna hit present. Okay, so first things first, this is what Mercury looks like. I always, when I see Mercury, I don't know, with this little half moon on its head, it's like the feminine symbol with this moon on the head. I kind of think of Hathor. And it also kind of looks a little bit like an alien. So it's just something to recognize. And you'll see this symbol throughout. And part of this class is for those of you who are new to the what are called glyphs, the astrological glyphs. It's another word for symbols, to help familiarizing yourself with it, because you will see these often and sometimes instead of their name. So that is indeed, this is the glyph for Mercury. And so I call this key number 4 to relationships. Today, first of all, the playlist is starting. So here, if you're able, if you're watching this on a screen and you have a phone where you can grab that, otherwise I can also put it in the chat if that's easier, but there's only 2 songs on it so far. I haven't thought of a good song for Pluto yet. This is technically week 3. We did Pluto first. That was the Eclipse Master class, because Pluto's the great transformer. And then last week we talked about sun and moon connections. And so we have that awesome upbeat Michael Franti song. And today the song that I've added to the playlist is this beautiful song called Astronomy by Conan Gray. Okay, so his album is called Super 8. This is a picture of Conan Gray. You can't really see because it's, tiny. But on Monday, it was my baby's 16th birthday, and his favorite
Wow.
singer is Conan Gray. And so we went to Portland to go see the singer. And what I love, I mean, not only it has been a while since I have been to a concert that was, a 25-year-old singer. The fans were out of this world. They were such super fans. It was insanity. The line to get a drink was like, you could walk right up and get a drink, but the merch line was like hours. It was so ridiculously long.
I love it.
It was really, really fun. And what I loved about Conan Gray, not only his voice is phenomenal, really angelic voice. He shared his story about how his music was birthed out of pain. He was born into a life of pain, and how he has transformed his life. And it's very much a part of his music. You hear it in there, but his passion for sharing a message and connecting with people and searching for higher meaning and how to transmute his pain was just really apparent. And he reminds me of a young Freddie Mercury. So
Wow.
there's the Mercury connection as well.
Oh, fun.
Just like this picture, you can't see he was wearing these red leather pants and then like this red leather vest, and he just, same with the voice that is just out of this world, phenomenal. And his ability to connect and really excite the crowd was so fun. So Conan Gray, new artist for probably most people. He was new to me a couple years ago. Mostly got introduced to his music through drives with Rhea to junior high. So Conan Gray, his song Astronomy is the first song that I heard, and I just absolutely adore it. Okay, so that's the playlist. Over on Spotify, you can also just go to Spotify and Andrea Blythe. You'll find it there. I think it's called Astrology of the Magi. I don't even know what I named it. Anyhow, today we're going to talk about the meaning of Mercury itself. Again, this is the funky little glyph of Mercury, how it shows up for us in our lifetime, yearly and weekly spreads. And then, of course, what matters most is what do you do with that information? How do you actually apply it? So, Mercury. When you guys think about Mercury, what thoughts come to mind immediately? Anything?
A
Thinking,
thermometer.
Whoa, say it again.
A
thinking in the
thermometer.
mind.
Okay, I heard Corinna say thinking in the mind. What'd you say, Mama?
A thermometer.
Oh, a
Me
thermometer.
too,
Yeah,
Blythe. Yeah, thermometer.
a thermometer. That's right. Because
I mean,
we're
boom,
old.
just
Right. Anybody who is of the newest generation won't get that. It's kind of like a cassette tape. They won't get that because thermometers are digital now.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. But okay, Mercury.
Hermes, the messenger.
Mhm.
Yep. With the funny shoes.
Yes. What is on his shoes?
Wings.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So
Oh, that's
Mercury,
right.
Hermes, yes, that is the mythological representation, right? You have Greek and Roman mythology with Mercury, the messenger of the gods, Hermes, and he had these shoes with the wings, and he was the one who can go between the worlds. If anybody has read the book Ceres, Ceres, really great. Really great if you're into mythology. Does the word retrograde come up for anybody?
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Most people would have said is Mercury often is followed by the word retrograde. So let's talk about that. So Mercury is the planet that rules over communication, is associated with communication. And as Corinna pointed out, mind and thinking. So if you were to associate Mercury with one of the four suits, hearts, clubs, diamonds, spades, which suit would it most likely be associated with?
Clubs.
Yes, clubs. It is when I think of the club suit, I almost immediately think of Mercury because it is so much about our head. It's like air signs. And you look at the two signs that it rules over, Gemini and Virgo. Gemini is an air sign. Virgo happens to be an earth sign, but this is the ruler over these two zodiac signs. So every zodiac sign from Aries to Pisces has a planet that rules over it. So we didn't really discuss last week with the sun and the moon. The sun rules over the sign of Leo, and Cancer rules over the moon rules over the sign of Cancer. But Mercury has two, Gemini and Virgo. And so it is a very cerebral, communicative, fast thinking, fast paced sign. And currently, today is October 16th, 2024. Currently, Mercury is in the sign of Scorpio. So this very fast moving communicative energy is in the sign of Scorpio, which is a water sign. It is like going into the depths of our emotions, pulling up what is underneath, like maybe churning the waters and extracting it out, wanting to have deep conversations. There is so much water in the personal planets. You would also consider Mercury a personal planet. Mercury, and we'll talk about Venus and Mars in the upcoming weeks. Those are our personal planets. They're the closest to planet Earth. They affect us personally, whereas the outer planets, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, Mars, they are more of a collective, a bigger arching, but Mercury very much affects us. And so it's important to know when Mercury goes retrograde. All planets go retrograde, and what it means when something goes retrograde is just from our perspective here on Earth. When we are viewing the sky above, it appears as if Mercury is moving backwards in orbit, which is, of course, an optical illusion. Everything is always moving in forward direction, that ever expanding direction. However, it appears to be going backwards, and it covers, in our perspective, different points of our zodiac wheel of our chart. And so when Mercury retrogrades, that's when you often experiences glitches in communication. That's why it is so important to know Mercury retrograde. It is the time to double check your details. You know, when you hit reply, make sure you're replying to the one person and not to all. Or when you're sending a polo, that you're sending it to your friend and not the group. You know, like just you have to be extra cautious during a Mercury retrograde about how you're communicating, because it can go it could go a little bit wonky. The other thing is it's reviewing the ways in which we communicate or the ways in which we think about something. And depending on where it falls in your personal chart, where it retrogrades. And I didn't look to see, hang on, I could look to see what sign it'll retrograde in. If I pull up my glasses. Mercury, what day? November 25th? It just says it begins. It's not saying where it is. Where is Mercury at that point? We'll find out as it gets closer. But bottom line is pretty much, you know, Thanksgiving through December 15th, we're going to be in a Mercury retrograde, which means, you know, communications with family, communication with people. Just, you know, just know that it might be affected. Okay. Any questions on that? On Mercury, the essence of Mercury?
No.
No. Okay. So astrology of the Magi is all about understanding, okay, that's great. How does it show up? Like, what does that reveal for us personally? How can we use the Mercury influences? And so I want to talk to you about how it shows up in the Magi science system and how we can use it. So the Mercury card shows up in our lifetime. So our life spread, our 52-day periods, and also we can break it down to a weekly spread. How many of you have the, I have it right here on my, I don't know if you could see this on my background, these, the planetary energy guide.
Mm-mm.
I will put that in the, let me see if I can easily grab that. Hang on, I'm going to stop this share, see if I can easily grab that. What the planetary guide offers is a way for you personally, based on the day of the week that you were born, to use your energy the most effectively as possible. Hang on, I'm looking through all of my links. Give me just 1 second. Mare, can you talk? I know that you have, there it is. I know that you have this and have been using it. Do you want to talk about how you have used the
You're
guide?
talking about this. I didn't see what you're
Yeah,
pointing
yeah,
to.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm pointing to.
I use it every day, so I know exactly, well, and I have my husband's written down too, so I know if I want to talk to him or not talk to him. It just kind of depends on his day.
Today is the day I
I
do not
was,
talk to my husband.
that's right. I check it before I get out of bed. I was born on Mercury, and so I pay attention to that day, and then actually, I'm starting to learn what days are good for finance, what days are good for communication, and it
Yes.
just kind of, it helps me. I'm learning the glyphs, but I mean just on things, I'm just a little bit more cautious, like on my Uranus day, where it's set like there's events that will rock your expectations. I just try to like go into the day without a huge attachment to the end result. Like it just keeps me
Oh, good.
like a map,
Yeah.
just another piece of that puzzle.
Exactly. So I just put the link in there, and I think that link is going to take you to where you'll just have to type back in. I was looking for the direct link, but this is something that I share. Like tonight, I'll be speaking over at GOL, and I will have this available for people because that's exactly what Mara was talking about, is when you know how your energy works, it's helpful. And that is part of the reason I shifted my classes from Mondays to Wednesdays, because Wednesday is my Mercury day. I was born on a Wednesday. So anybody born on a Wednesday, that is your Mercury Day. So it's always the first. If we think about the planets, you know, we think about the sun in our solar system, the next planet is Mercury. So it represents the first card in our life spread. And this is something that we will be learning about in the Magi Mastery. The first masterclass is happening this Monday, the 21st, and
Hey,
Mare is one of those Magi Mastery students. So she is going to be learning how to really read her life spread and how to maximize the knowledge there. Every year, so Sherry is coming up on her solar return in a week, 10 days from now. And so when Sherry's birthday hits on October 26th, her Mercury period will start. She'll have 52 days in what's considered your Mercury period. And then again, like I said, you could break it down to weekly, and I do the same thing. First thing I do every morning is I check my card of the day, and it helps me understand some of the energies that are present. And I love it that this morning my card is the 10 of clubs. And so clubs, that's Mare's birth card.
I'm Kimberly's birth card today. I'm the Queen of Diamonds.
Ooh, you go,
Mhm.
queen. Yeah, make some money. Get all businessy. But it tells you a little bit, like the 10 of clubs is also known as the teacher's card. And so I was like, well, that's lovely. It's on my communication day, the teacher's card, and it's my spirit card for life, which means it's my first karma card. I am happiest when I am leaning into the energy of my karma card. So I'm happiest when I am teaching. So Mercury shows up, it is the first in a lot of things. And as the influence, so once again, I'm going to go back to Sherry since her birthday is the next one coming up. When she has the 52-day period that starts, it's really great for, you know, communication and learning. Anybody whose card is in her Mercury period might be somebody that she'll be having a lot of communication with, or that communication will flow easily with that person. It could also mean that if you meet somebody, because Mercury is also a fast moving influence. If we think about, again, going back to the mythology and think about Hermes, the god who transmitted messages back and forth, his energy was fast moving. So it's also a great day, like on your day of the week, to do things like run errands, do things that are around town that move kind of quickly. That is the influence. But if you meet somebody during your Mercury period, they might be in and out of your life quickly, possibly. That is one possible influence of Mercury. Okay, so here's the trick. Okay, if I said that Mercury is the first, and this system, again, we're going to look at the spiritual spread because that's how you can read how it goes. It goes from right to left, top to bottom. So if it's the first card in your spread, what do you notice about it based on a previous class? And this is like an advanced question. I'm wondering if
Out of the spiritual spread,
either side.
well, I see the Magi card in the life spread,
Yeah.
right? That's the one you're talking about?
No, just like for you. So I'm gonna not pick on. I am going to use your card, Mare. Okay. So the 10 of clubs. So let's look at 10 of clubs is right here in the
Mm-hmm.
life spread, spiritual spread, 10 of clubs is here. If I were to count, if I said that Mercury is the first card, what would be considered Mare's Mercury card?
The eight of
Is it right
diamonds.
underneath it or it's the first one in line?
Corinna, say it again.
Eight of diamonds.
Okay, the 8 of diamonds. It's the first one in line. Because you always count to the left. So her Mercury card is the 8 of diamonds, or in the spiritual spread, the Jack of clubs. Okay, now, Mare, I'm going back to you. What did you learn about the 8 of diamonds last week, or the Jack of clubs last week?
The 8 of diamonds or the Jack of clubs?
Yeah, for you personally.
Um,
Again, this isn't
well,
a
the Jack of clubs is I'm the moon to the Jack of clubs.
that's it. Okay. That's it. Your moon to the Jack of clubs. So so what I'm getting at here is if we count over one, we're reviewing moon sun connection. Moon sun connection. Last week, we talked about the sun and moon connection, and they are located right next to each other. So what I'm saying is there is no specific, if you are counting, we wouldn't say that you have a Mercury connection. I wouldn't say that, Mare, you have a Mercury connection with your sister from past lives, right? Your sister is the Jack of clubs. I would just call it the sun moon connection. So the Mercury card is not in and of itself a connection. It has an influence, but it is not a connection. This is the one card. So this is the 1 week that will be just slightly different when like because what we're talking about with the astrology of the Magi, why it's so good is because it talks about the energetic flow between two people. And what does that connection mean? What does it mean if you have a Mercury connection? Well, your Mercury card is either your sun or is pretty much your sun moon card. So again, like mom and Sherry, Sherry being the 9 of hearts and my mom being the 7 of clubs, you guys have this sun moon connection. So you could say, technically for Sherry, the 9 of hearts, that Mercury, this is her Mercury card in life, but I wouldn't say that my mom is her Mercury card. Instead, my mom is the sun card. And that is just, this one is just a little bit different. Did that confuse you or does that make sense?
Good. Both of us.
What?
It's, you know what got me? It's the visual of the spiritual and the life and the going all the different directions. So I get the spiritual spread right to left,
Yeah.
but on the life spread, it's the same, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then when you were saying next to me, you're talking about above next to me, not okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, because it always and this Mare, you're gonna be a pro at this by the end of the Magi Mastery. Like you'll know how to read this. And for those of you that are not going deeper into the Magi Mastery, you don't really need this is, like I said, an advanced level question, and it doesn't really matter if you can read it or not. Okay, mom? So just if you could read it or not, it doesn't matter. Bottom line is there is not I wouldn't say, oh, I've got a past life Mercury connection with this person. No, the sun and moon influence is more important. And yeah, that's
Okay,
just,
may I ask?
yes.
So I'm the Queen of Diamonds. So the King of Diamonds is my moon,
Yeah. No,
Okay.
you is your sun. Is
my sun.
your
I'm
sun.
the moon.
Your moon. Yeah. The
Okay.
card to the left is the sun. The one on the right is the moon.
Okay.
If you want to learn to read it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then in this life, it's a little bit trickier because you're in the Mercury column, like his Mercury glyph really looks like an alien. You're in this Mercury column, so you are moon to the 5 of hearts, and the Ace of Diamonds is moon to you.
Right.
Ace of Diamonds is my mama.
I know.
You. So
I
what
love that
this
for you.
means, again, for my mom, again, if Ace of Diamonds, that's who you are. You are an Ace of Diamonds mom. It's your son. The Queen of Diamonds was your Mercury period in life. And Mercury period rules over your first 12 years. You have your life spread. So it's about communication. All right. I feel like that was a little bit tricky, but I also feel
I have a
like,
question.
yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
no apologies.
I Well, I just noticed that mine are the same. Like, how often is that the same one from the spiritual spread to the life spread?
Okay, so yours is actually, so sun, moon goes down, like back here. So this is actually, it's right. You're the moon to the to the queen of diamonds, right?
Okay,
Jack of
right.
diamonds to
Thank
the
you.
queen of diamonds. So again, Corinna and and Kimberly have a past life Jack and queen connection here. But
Hmm.
here your Jack is your Jack is the moon to the queen here. Your Jack is actually moon to the 4 here. And the queen
Okay.
is moon to the Jack here. So that is interesting. That
Oh,
is very interesting that
It is.
and when you have, I mean, it's lovely in a relationship when you know, if you're really looking for that equilibrium, that one person can be the sun, because again, the sun card is the leader, is pulling focus of the direction, is kind of taking charge of how the relationship goes. And the moon is the supporting role in that, and a positive supporting influence. So when you have two sun moon connections and it goes both ways, one's the sun and one's the moon, it equals that out. You could just be like, I'm gonna be the sun right here, or I need to be moon, you know, like when you have a connection. So the Jack of Diamonds, and I hadn't noticed that before, the Jack and Queen of Diamonds do have a strong sun moon connection, but it's in equilibrium. It
Hmm.
goes both ways. I wonder which one would be more powerful, past life or present life. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. That is cool.
Okay.
Great
That
ability
is,
to
that's very
read it
cool.
and to notice that that is what's happening there. Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't know that Kimber, you were Queen of Heart or Diamonds, I mean, so that's fun.
Yes. I knew you were a Jack of diamonds. I knew.
Yeah, nice.
I feel it.
Okay. So let's just talk about like the most important part, I think, is like, how do you apply this knowledge? And can you guys hear Jasper barking like crazy? I did not take him for a walk
Uh-huh.
this morning. Okay, good.
Yes, he's excited about something.
He is excited about, I don't know, protecting, I guess, life. Okay. How to apply these. So I put this up here just as a reminder. Here's Mercury, and I'm putting the sun moon here on this card as a reminder that there is no Mercury connection, because it's the sun moon in your life spread. So that's just something because you'll hear about as we progress. You'll really start to understand who's your, like, your big cards, your Saturn card or your Mars card or your Pluto card. You won't hear like who is your Mercury card. It's more your sun and moon card. Okay, but there are Mercury periods. So understanding the big influence of Mercury on that larger scale, where the Mercury periods are your lifetime, that rules over the first 12 years of your life. Yearly, the first 52 days of your year. And we're going to be talking more about that. There are 7 52-day periods in a year. Pretty fun math. 7 is 52 is a 7, and there are 7 of those. And then I didn't put on here, but it's also weekly. Again, knowing your daily energies, whatever day, it's as simple as whatever day of the week you were born is your Mercury day. And this planetary energy guide that I'm pointing to here, if you could see it, just shows you that your Mercury day is the day of the week you were born. We have a lot of communication that day, or it's a great day for communication, for email blasts, for whatever. You'll notice that letters from Luna always come out on Wednesdays. And use it to share information. You can go on trips, run errands, things of that nature. It's really good. You know, if you have to figure out what day do I go to Costco and to the DMV and all the stuff you have to do it on your Mercury day if possible. So cards in your Mercury periods reflect ideas, and they represent people of that birth card. So for example, if I look at my Mercury period for this year that I'm in, I'm well beyond. I'm in my Jupiter period of my year cycle, but in my Mercury period, I have them up on notes up there. I had the Queen of Clubs underscored by the Three of Clubs. So that was kind of the energy, like that, the idea of getting really in tune with my intuition and seeking knowledge, getting creative with how I think and communicate was kind of the influence. Knowing Queen of Clubs people, they could have been great to communicate with. You know, one of my best friends is a Queen of Clubs. And then Hillary, who went to Teotihuacan with a lot of us, she is also a Queen of Clubs, and we were in the Spirit of the Phoenix program at that time, so we were in communication. So it's good. The more people that you know and associate with birth cards, and when you look at your yearly spread, it's good to know, like, okay, this person might be a strong influence for me during this period, whatever that period represents. But again, it's also the idea represented by the card, which is what we covered mostly in the numerology class that you all have have access to, which I did want to ask about that. Has everybody been able or received the email from me that gave you access to the numerology and to the astrology courses? Do you guys have that? So you know where you
Yes.
go to get the replay. So because I don't want to keep sending out like emails like, here's the replay. Like the replay is housed in in the numerology course and in the astrology course.
Yeah, I like how you did it, Andrea. It's really organized. You go there and you can,
Oh, good.
yeah, they're all together. I like it. Yeah.
Great, great, great. And
Good
if you
reference.
haven't found that and would like help on finding that, again, you can schedule with me anytime, or you know, a phone call, a quick phone call, and I could guide you through that, or an email. Write something really funny in the title of the email so that I look at it. Email
Got it.
tends to be my Achilles heel. Okay. All right. And that's pretty much, that's the Mercury card. And it's
Top keys to your
influence. So today is the 16th. We went over Sun Moon last week, and Mercury today. We're moving on to Venus, and then Mars will finish out the month of October. And then we will be hitting the outer planets later here. I do want to talk about December 4th is probably going to be a pre-recorded class that day, but more information will come on that. We are way up here right now. And again, you all have access to the numerology class. If you know of anybody who would be interested in this, send them my way. I will be at GOL tonight, Gathering of Light Workers over at Potter Wines, doing little mini Magi readings. It's a Halloween party, so it's super fun. You get to meet lots of practitioners. Tammy Reed will be there, but in the back room with me, we're doing mini readings, and she's the one who I will be co-speaking with next week on October 22nd. So if you're available and want to learn more about your soul essence through the lens of human design and the Magi, come. It'll be an interactive, fun class, and it's a 2-hour event. Tonight is a like an open house event. The best part about the GOL events, the evening socials over at Potter Wines, is the raffle. There are so many, right, Corinna? Like
Yep, that's awesome.
they give
Definitely
away.
win some really amazing prizes from practitioners.
Yes, yes, and I'm raffling off a 60-minute session with me. So
Ooh, I'd come just for that.
there you go. There you go. And you don't
Seriously.
need, seriously. Yeah, you don't need to be dressed up, but it's fun. It'll be a fun Halloween one tonight. But this is where we're going. Point people in my direction if they want to know more about it. I would love to just continue to share this knowledge a little bit more. And did I put this on here? I think I did. Yes, this little QR code, or if you go to YouTube, my teacher, right, Robert Lee Camp, Mr. Destiny, he did a webinar. I'm not sure how many people knew about it, but you know, he's the author of all all the books. So he did a webinar on Saturday called Love Cards and You. It was a master class. And oh boy, replay available through, this does say Friday, but the final letters are in black, so they're hard to read. The replay is available for 2 more days. So if you want to hear him teach on, he's talking about what we're talking about this quarter. He is talking about the connections through the cards. So he goes over sun and moon, Venus and Mars connections in this Love Cards and You masterclass. And what was delightful as I was driving out to Portland and, trying to stay on the Zoom call is that I was featured in his masterclass a couple of times as giving a testimonial for working with him, but then also sharing how understanding the connections have helped me in my life to you know, to flow a little bit easier with what is present. And then just to reiterate, next week, October 22nd at 6 p.m., I will be speaking on soul relationships over at the GOL event. So it is going to be interactive and fun. I would love to have some familiar faces. This is a paid event. They're called Learn and Experiences. It is $25, but there is the code right here. I think you'll get lots of value for it. Plus meet other light workers in the area that are coming to hear the presentation. And then, Tammy Reed. Some of you, Corinna and I got to go on a retreat with Tammy for the solstice in June. And she's a really exceptional human with lots of knowledge. It'll be fun.
Where's that one at?
It's in Meridian, and it is like, it's such a non-sexy place name, like Horizon Union
Credit union, yeah.
Horizon Credit Union.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's in Meridian, Horizon Credit Union. Thank you. Corinna, have you been to that space?
Yeah, I have. It's actually a good space, yeah, for events. Yeah. It's pretty spacious, so it's nice. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, great. So the Horizon Credit Union in Meridian next week. And then think about your questions. I want to stay on for questions, but then I have one personal share or announcement. And this is because one of the things that I'm taking away from Teo is recognizing how to ask for help and how to receive help. I have been in a really tough space since I've been home, and I've been looking around my yard. I have this gorgeous tree in my front yard who has dropped most of her leaves, and that's just in my front yard. So this Saturday, I am going to be out in my yard. I have so much freaking lavender, you guys. It is ridiculous. In my front yard, in my backyard, amazing amounts of lavender. I have apples, I have grapes, and all of it is overgrown and needing to be cut back. So I invite any of you who might be willing and able to lend a little bit of a helping hand to me to manage my bounty. I keep reminding myself that this is abundance. This is what abundance looks like. And I'm really grateful for all the things that this little plot of land that I have is offering. And it's really hard for me to manage on my own. So I invite you to that. And then I was also going to think about like setting out, this is a great week for vision boards. It is a full moon week. So I was thinking of in my kitchen table, setting out magazines and having stuff for vision boards. I'm still kind of just coming up with this idea, but I figured just start by asking for help. So I'm asking for help. If anybody is available and wants to swing by, and even if you just want to come by and take a cluster, like a large cluster, a basket full of lavender, do something creative with it, please. Come take some lavender, come take some apples, come take some grapes. I know my mom loves the grapes. They are Cabernet grapes. If you want to be a winemaker, come grab some grapes, make some wine. That
If you
is,
can find them.
yeah. What's that?
if you can find them.
I know, right? Yeah, it is a little jungly. And I was looking at a video that when I first started my YouTube channel back in 2022, there's a video and you can see my grapes. And I was like, wow. Yeah, it's a little bit jungly right now. So I'm calling it a party, harvest party.
I love that. I would love to help you. Thanks for
Yeah.
asking for help. Good
Thank
job.
you. Yes, I am. That is what I'm learning to do, is to ask for help.
Mm.
Mm.
All right, because it is, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's easy to armor up, in my position. I feel like that is what I've done in many ways for good reason. I've needed to armor up. I've needed to step into my masculine, and now it's like, okay, all right, I can receive too. So anyhow,
Yeah.
okay. That ends the class. What questions do you have? It could be personal questions. It could be larger questions overall. And I am going to leave the Q&A private. So I'm going to stop the recording and we'll see you back here next week for Venus Connections.